Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences class of 2018. This is a good crowd. I'm already excited. Degree candidates, ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. For almost 20 years, the Oklahoma Scottish Pipe and Drum Corps has preserved and perpetuated Scottish pipe band traditions, ideals, customs, and attire while performing high-quality music of Scottish, Irish, Welsh, and other Celtic traditions. The Oklahoma Scottish Pipe and Drum Corps have joined the A&GS Convocation for many years, and we are honored to have them play for us once again today. Please join me in another round of applause for these outstanding musicians. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences Spring 2018 Convocation. My name is Patrick Highland. I am the Coordinator of External Relations for the college, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for today. We are very happy that so many families and friends were able to join us as we celebrate the college's 13th Spring Convocation. The 2018 A&GS Convocation is also streaming live at convocation.ags.ou.edu, which is also where you will find the program. I know that some of you have traveled a great distance today to join us. Over half of our undergraduates and most of our graduate students are from out of state. A number are from out of the country. One degree candidate's family has traveled over 7,000 miles. All the way from Saudi Arabia to be here today. Even for the thank you. Even for the families of our native Oklahoma students, a trip to Norman can take 4 or 5 hours. On behalf of the college's faculty and staff, I thank you all for supporting your students during their time here at OU and for continuing to support them with your presence here today. Degree candidates, it's been an exciting 4 years. Bachelor's degree candidates began their studies in the fall of 2014, shortly before the new Radar Innovations Laboratory opened on the research campus. Most of our master's and doctoral degree candidates began their studies at OU the following fall. As graduate students, the academic landscape both broadened and intensified to include more focused research, teaching, publications, field experiments, writing a thesis or dissertation, and of course, general exams. Over the past 4 years, the planet has provided us with a number of extreme natural events to study, including a record high temperature of 63.5 Fahrenheit on the Antarctic Peninsula, a devastating 7.8 earthquake in Nepal, one of the top 3 strongest El Niños on record, snow in the Sahara Desert for the first time in 40 years, and over 1,000 earthquakes in Oklahoma in 2016 alone, most of them small, but some of them noticeable, like the 5.0 quake that hit Cushing in November of 2016. Our grads here today also experienced big changes within the university, including the completion of a number of new buildings, a new head football coach, and the biggest change of all, the announcement last September that President David L. Boren would be retiring after 24 years of service, making the class of 2018 the last class to graduate under his leadership. The College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences has experienced a number of changes since 2014 as well. Among them, welcoming 13 new faculty members, adding a new 5-year bachelor's master's program in geography and regional and city planning, and providing the Oklahoma Weather Lab with a new permanent state-of-the-art home in the National Weather Center. Most importantly, over the last 4 years, you earned a degree in geography, environmental sustainability, geographic information science, or meteorology from the University of Oklahoma. That is an accomplishment well worth celebrating, and we're very glad to be able to share all of that with you today. I would like to begin by introducing members of the Dean's Platform Party I ask that they stand and remain standing, and that you please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Dr. Berrien Moore, Chesapeake Energy Corporation Chair in Climate Studies, Director of the National Weather Center, Vice President for Weather and Climate Programs, and Dean of the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences. Dr. Petra Klein, Professor in the School of Meteorology, and Edith Kinney Gaylord Professor and Executive Associate Dean of the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences. Dr. Kirsten DeBurs, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Geography and Environmental Sustainability. Dr. David Parsons, Director of the School of Meteorology, Professor, and Mark and Candy McCaslin Chair of Meteorology. Dr. Kelvin Drogemeyer, Vice President for Research at the University of Oklahoma Regents Professor of Meteorology, Roger and Sherry Teagan Presidential Professor, and Weather News Chair Emeritus. Dr. Scott Green, Professor, Associate Chair of the Department of Geography and Environmental Sustainability, and Director of the Oklahoma Wind Power Initiative. Dr. Cameron Homeyer, Assistant Professor and Associate Director of Undergraduate Programs in the School of Meteorology. And Dr. Jeff Becerra, Associate Professor and Associate Director of the Graduate Program in the School of Meteorology. You already got the cue for being seated. Very good. I would also like to acknowledge the faculty members who have joined us today. Faculty members, would you please stand to be recognized? We are indeed fortunate to have such outstanding faculty at the University of Oklahoma, and particularly in the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences, and we thank you, faculty. Dr. Kelvin Drogemeyer earned a Bachelor of Science in Meteorology from OU in 1980 and joined the OU faculty in 1985 after earning his master's and PhD from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. The following year, Dr. Drogemeyer was named a Presidential Young Investigator by the National Science Foundation, and in 1988, a proposal he wrote with meteorology professor Doug Lilly to establish a National Science Foundation Science and Technology Center on the OU campus was approved. The proposal was part of a massive collaborative across campus and with the National Severe Storms Laboratory, and eventually led to the creation of the Center for Analysis and Prediction of Storms at OU. In addition to his extensive research work, Dr. Drogemeyer has served as an advisor and mentor to many students, including the college's 2017-2018 Outstanding Senior, Tabitha Kloss, whom he will introduce today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Kelvin Drogemeyer.
Thank you very much, Pat. Good morning, everyone. It's a great privilege to introduce to you the student who was chosen as the outstanding senior in the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences for the 2017-2018 academic year, Ms. Tabitha Kloss. She also was named the college's outstanding junior last year, and I think if we had an outstanding freshman, outstanding sophomore, she probably would have walked away with those as well. She's tremendous. She's a native of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. She graduates today with a BS in Meteorology, summa cum laude, with minors in German and mathematics. She has earned a place on the Dean's Honor Roll every semester since she began at OU in the fall of 2014, has been named to the President's Honor Roll 6 times. She also was recently named a Letsizer Scholar, which is the university's highest honor, awarded only to 26 graduating seniors campus-wide this spring. Since 2015, Tabitha has volunteered her time as a student ambassador at the School of Meteorology, as undergraduate vice chairperson of the School of Meteorology Student Affairs Committee, and as a member of the University Library Student Advisory Council. She also is a big part of OU's big event. She proudly serves as an OU weather friend and is president of the OU chapter of the American Meteorological Society and the National Weather Association. She's extremely busy. She's also a Noah Halling Scholar and also is a recipient of numerous other awards and honors. Now, this summer, she's going to be heading to Dallas to serve as a meteorology intern at Southwest Airlines. And I had the privilege of talking to Southwest when we submitted her application. It's a very, very competitive program. And let me tell you, she was in the stratosphere, maybe we should say the ionosphere, compared to all the other applicants. And so we're very proud of Tabitha for that, and also grateful for how she is carrying the banner of OU down into Texas. And we all know that needs to be done every day. She is going to go out to Arizona to join Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott. She's going to pursue a Master of Science with a focus on aviation safety. Now, in introducing Tabitha, I had to say a few other things about her. She did what we encourage all of our students to do. We have this massive weather enterprise. I think you've all been by the Weather Center building. There's a whole bunch of different organizations here, and we tell our students, come and don't just go to the academic program. That is the core. Go to your classes, but soak up as much as you can of the private sector, of the research organizations, of the operations, of the support facilities, because this is your university and they're a part of the institution. And Tabitha did exactly that. I mean, she was sort of everywhere all the time. She took full advantage of this. She was a data quality manager for the atmospheric radiation measurement test bed, a student manager for a big climate observing facility we have in northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas called the Arm Cart site. It's up by Lamont. In the summer of 2017, not to be outdone by anybody, Tabitha treks to Anchorage, Alaska to spend the summer in Anchorage at the aviation weather unit there to understand the aviation dimensions of the science that she was studying, atmospheric science and weather. And she also was one of only 2 student participants in a major national workshop we had a few years ago to look at the human behavioral response dimensions to extreme weather events. Now, one thing about Tabitha, you know, I love the name, and when I first met her, I knew she was a ball of fire, but I thought that name sounds familiar to me, so I looked it up in the Bible. And the other word for Tabitha, do you all know what it is? Dorcas, yeah. Where are Tabitha's parents? Thank you for not naming her Dorcas. She is so grateful going through a university being called Dorcas. I mean, I went through being called Dork, period, without the AS on it. It wasn't fun, but Tabitha, she excelled. So anyway, the one thing I will tell you, Tabitha is an extraordinary writer, both in terms of her composition capability, but she's also a human typewriter. But the interesting thing is she writes with 1-point font. So she sent me a card one time, and I had to take it to the Xerox machine. I had to enlarge it 3,000% to be able to read what it actually said. It's really extraordinary. Tabitha, we are all exceptionally proud of you. We're very excited to have you as our outstanding senior. So please join me in welcoming to the platform Tabitha Kloss, the outstanding senior of the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences.
Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Drogmeyer. Now I've really got some standards to live up to with this speech. So, well, let me get started. Many of us have been dreaming of being scientists for as long as we can remember. Today, that dream becomes a reality. I've known that I've wanted to be a meteorologist since I was about 4 years old, and I remember in 8th grade, my mom was telling me, you know, soon you're going to start having to think about taking the SAT and applying to colleges. So what did I do? I went over to the computer, did my research, and informed my parents that evening that I would be studying at the University of Oklahoma. Now, being the oldest child and living in eastern Pennsylvania, that came as a little bit of a surprise to my parents, but because they've supported me and every single one of my crazy ideas, that's exactly where I ended up. 1,418 miles from home, to be exact. Now, when I moved out here to Oklahoma, I knew a whole 0 people, and I got here with 1 suitcase, a box of sheets for my dorm room, and my passion for meteorology. I was excited, but also a little bit anxious because, for the most part, I had no idea what to expect. You know, I can honestly say that being a superhero was not on my radar, but more on that later. I believe that each and every one of us here on this stage today can attest to how lucky we are to have been part of the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences during our time here at OU. While A&GS may be the smallest college at OU, that has truly been to our advantage. Whether we're in the School of Meteorology or the Department of Geography and Environmental Sustainability, we have built lifelong friendships with our classmates. It is those friendships that have made our time here at OU so memorable and possible. Who else will we spend countless hours studying dynamics with? More like dynamics sometimes, but at least we got meteorology-themed drink recipes on our exams. Sea breeze, anyone? And who else would we work on all those group projects with? Turn to when it's past midnight and Python or ArcGIS won't work and that assignment is due at 9 a.m.? Who else would we pet therapy dogs with at the NWC library during finals week when we need to de-stress a little bit? And who would we drive to Kansas to storm chase with? And by that, I mean miss a tornado because somebody went and lost a sock in the mud. Sean? Now, on top of these friendships, we have been blessed with all the opportunities available to us here at OU. First and foremost, one of my favorite things to tell prospective students about this university is that you cannot graduate OU without work experience in your area of study, unless you tried. Many of us here have been able to put our knowledge and skills to the test, working as research assistants, teaching assistants, interns, and more. We've also had the opportunity to do job shadows and internships at the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service Norman WFO. It is each of these opportunities that help our students to gain unique experience and set ourselves apart from students at other universities. And yes, we do occasionally do more than just work and study. I mean, who could resist all the opportunities with these student organizations, whether it's OU SCAN, the Oklahoma Weather Lab, OWL for short, the GIS Club, the Geography and Environmental Sustainability Club, or the Weather Friends? OWL gives upperclassmen students the chance to teach other students, getting them weekly hands-on forecasting experience and familiarizing with them with the absurd number of acronyms that we encounter here in meteorology. Seriously, I think I learned more acronyms than names my first week of school. I also learned that even if it's 9 p.m. on a Sunday night, the NWC security does not appreciate rowdy college kids having chair races around the 5th floor of the building. Who'd have thunk? Now, while I have done a lot of learning in my time here at OU, I've also had the opportunity to share that knowledge with others. A few of us here on stage today have alter egos as weather superheroes, also known as the Weather Friends. We talk to elementary schoolers in the area about how severe weather occurs and what they should be doing when it does. I made my debut as Ice Queen 4 years ago, and it's been a rewarding experience to be able to teach people in my community something I'm passionate about, knowing that what I'm teaching them could prove extremely beneficial one day, knowing the weather hazards that we encounter here in Oklahoma. Not to mention, as Captain Noah pointed out, wearing capes in high school may be lame, but wearing them in college makes you the coolest person ever. Now, we're proud and also a little bit sad to see him graduate today, but Dr. Disaster is sitting on stage here as well, so maybe we'll finally get some peace and quiet around here. That being said, it's important to remember that not all superheroes wear capes. None of this would be possible without the faculty and staff of A&GS, even the ones who make bad dad jokes. To the professors who have taught our various courses over the year, thank you. In addition to teaching us material during class time, you've held extra review sessions before exams and answered our endless questions during office hours because you recognize our desire to learn and want to give us the tools we need to reach those academic goals. Or you just want us to leave you alone. Whatever the case may be, you helped each and every one of us make it onto this stage today. I'd also like to note that this is the only university where you can have the director of the National Severe Storms Laboratory teach your mesoscale meteorology course, or have a meteorologist from the Storm Prediction Center develop and teach an elective course focused entirely on severe storm forecasting. We're also lucky enough to have a staff who cared so deeply about us. Whether it was Marianne doing our degree checks, Carrie walking us through a practice interview, Shelby giving us chocolate, or just having a conversation with anyone on the staff, they helped us on our journey and kept us sane along the way. And to all our family and friends who are here today, thank you, not only for being here, but for supporting us every step of the way these past 4 years on our way to becoming degreed meteorologists, geographers, geographic information scientists, and environmental sustainability scientists. I think we can all agree that it's been a heck of a ride, but we wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And while our journey as undergraduates here at OU is coming to an end, this is only the beginning. We each have exciting paths ahead of us. For some of us, that means staying here at OU to pursue a master's degree, or, for the crazy ones, a direct track PhD. For others, that means following their passion and going somewhere new to continue their studies. Jacqueline Nugent is headed to the University of Washington, Eric Green to the University of Nebraska, and Allison Wiley to the University of Michigan. Others still are headed into the private sector, some right here in Norman, Oklahoma. Kevin McCarthy has been interning at Weather News for the past year, and they've offered him a full-time position following graduation. Avery Aldossery has been working at Weather Decision Technologies, and she was moved to full-time 2 months ago. You go, girl. And for those of you who like to get your weather information from a local news station, you can find Caroline Brown on KTOL Channel 8 in Tulsa, and Erica Lopez on KION and Telemundo 23 in California. And let me just say, this only scratches the surface of where everyone is going and what they'll be doing. But wherever that next step takes us, there's a quote from Albert Einstein that I'd like to share. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. The important thing is to not stop questioning. It's our curiosity, our desire to learn and to understand that brought us here to OU. It's what gave us the motivation to spend all those late nights studying and finishing our projects. And it's what's going to propel us as we move forward in our lives. The College of A&GS is filled with incredible, bright-minded students, and no matter where we go, whether or not we're wearing capes, we're going to change the world. Congratulations to the class of 2018, and thank you.
Thank you, Tabitha. Do you know how popular she was when Frozen came out as Ice Queen? Man. Varian Moore is a world-renowned earth scientist who serves as Vice President for Weather and Climate Programs, Dean of the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences, and Director of the National Weather Center at the University of Oklahoma. He also holds the Chesapeake Energy Corporation Chair in Climate Studies. He is the architect and principal investigator of the Geostationary Carbon Cycle Observatory, or GeoCarb, the first of its kind mission selected by NASA to measure greenhouse gases and vegetation health from space. After earning his PhD in mathematics from the University of Virginia in 1969, Moore joined the faculty at the University of New Hampshire, where he was named a University Distinguished Professor in 1997. He later served as the founding executive director of Climate Central, a think tank focused on climate change. Moore is also a fellow in the American Meteorological Society and International Academy of Astronomics. His honors include the Administrator's Award from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Dryden Lecture and Research Award of the American Institute of Aeronautics, and the NASA Distinguished Public Service Medal, which is the space agency's highest form of recognition. During Dean Moore's tenure, scholarship opportunities have quadrupled, from 15,000 per academic year to more than 60,000 this year. Under Dean Moore's leadership, the internship program has experienced phenomenal growth as well. A&GS students are now exploring professional internships from the Norman Water Treatment Plant to Self-Help Africa in Zambia. Dean Moore has also ensured that A&GS students are able to enjoy a vibrant, well-stocked library, state-of-the-art computer labs, and an educational atmosphere that promotes learning, collaboration, and research. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dean Varian Moore.
Congratulations. This is marvelous. I'd like to begin my remarks by first addressing the parents. It is because of you and because of your trust in us that we have your daughters and sons on this stage. We take very seriously the trust that you have given to us over these years. Today, we're happy to report that they have done well, and I hope we have merited that trust. Probably worrying about one thing, though: jobs. How is this going to pay off? Google up geography graduates' jobs. You hit 1.8 million. Google up GIS, Geographic Information Systems, and jobs. About 1.7 million. Meteorology jobs. About 1.5 million. Environmental sustainability jobs. About 1.8 million. And why is that really true? It's true because we live in a different world. We live in a digital world. We live in a world in which this exists. We live in a world that we have to understand. These students have been studying that world and how we understand it, how the weather works, how societies work, how we can construct sustainable jobs, sustainable cities, sustainable country, a sustainable planet. This is not easy. It is a very difficult task. Look at such things as tornado warnings. Tornado warnings have improved in terms of lead time from about 5 or 6 minutes to now 13 to 15 minutes. However, we have not seen the same improvement in terms of fatalities. Why is that? Well, we have to look at that problem. Tornado warning, that's a rather abstract, that's what really happens. Well, last year, the state that led the nation in tornadoes was Georgia. Texas second. Oklahoma not in the top 5. Then what happens in Georgia? What is the mapping between tornado warnings and radar? What is the mapping between tornado warnings and environmental circumstances? Between tornado warnings and poverty? Between tornado warnings and information? These are hard problems. These are not problems of a traditional sort. This is a set of problems of problems. It's a problematique. I think that your children, your sons and daughters, are ready for this world and to make a contribution. Let me turn my remarks now to the graduates. In thinking about this talk, I went back and reread President Kennedy's September 1962 talk at Rice University, where Kennedy said, we will go to the moon. And we choose to go to the moon, not because it is easy, but because it is difficult. Now, just to do something just because it's difficult really doesn't make sense. So he went on and said, we do this because it will marshal our best talents. Why do we do large-scale field programs in remote areas? It's because it marshals our best talents. When you go out, take on big problems, because it will marshal the talents of your colleagues and it will marshal the many talents of yourselves. Marshal your talents. Do something big. Do something because it is hard. Now, having said that, if you do something because it is really hard and is a very difficult thing to do, you're going to fail. I know a lot about this. One does fail. This happens. I mean, after all, that's why you're going to make mistakes. That's why there is an eraser on the end of the pencil. Eraser, that's a pencil. No, that's why there's a delete key on your keyboard. Because that's why you can tell Siri, go back, Siri, that's not what I meant. I need to go back. I made a mistake. Andrew Weil, the great British mathematician at Princeton, in June of 1993, announced at Cambridge University that he had solved Fermat's last theorem. This is the most outstanding mathematical problem that was then in existence. Fermat's last theorem, Jean-Pierre Fermat in 1637 left a book in his library, and on the margin of the page he said, I have the most beautiful proof of this theorem, but the margin of the page doesn't offer enough room to write it down. The theorem is that Pythagorean's theorem, x squared plus y squared equals z squared, that does not generalize. There is no x cubed plus y cubed equals z cubed where you're dealing with integers. It doesn't work for the fourth power, it doesn't work for the fifth power, it doesn't work for anything else but x squared plus y squared equals z squared. And in June of 1993, Andrew Wiles announced at Cambridge University that he had solved this problem. And well, this made the front page of the New York Times. It was one of the biggest scientific events of the 90s. In September, Wiles announced the proof was flawed. For 1 year, he focused all of his energies on how could he correct this flaw, this mistake. What he realized at the end of that year was that if he took his first approach, which had failed also, and he married that with his second approach that he announced in Cambridge, that had failed also. But if he took the two pieces that were still good and put them together, that he would have a solution. He took failure and turned it into success. One thing you have to do, though, to do that well, is you need colleagues and you need to learn how to listen to your colleagues. I know this pretty well because you heard we have this mission, GeoCarb, the Geostationary Carbon Observatory. I started working on that in 2010. And I submitted a proposal just for the instrument about 2 years later to NASA. And I swung and missed. It was not successful. I got a dear colleague later saying basically, oh, this marvelous proposal, however. 2 years later, same thing, same result. I would go down to NASA for the debrief and I would tell NASA, how could you be making such a foolish decision? My wife then said to me, isn't it interesting that it takes us 2 years to learn how to talk and 70 years to learn how to listen? Why don't you go down and talk to NASA and listen rather than talk? I listened, and the next time we proposed for the whole mission, not just the instrument, and we were successful. From failure, you could have great success. Just know that it's going to happen. So, how can you minimize failure? I'm not sure, but Harvey Penick, who's a marvelous teacher of golf and of life, said something. He said, before every golf shot, take dead aim. Take dead aim. Don't be distracted. Know what you want to do. Now, that does not mean, as a player, I can assure you, I have taken dead aim and put the ball right into the water. I have taken dead aim and put the ball so deep into the woods that a safari was necessary to find the ball. Sergio Garcia, the great Spanish player, who a year ago won the Masters, was defending his title. He came to the 15th hole. It's a par 5 over water. Garcia took dead aim on that second shot and put it right into the water. He repeated that 4 more times, going into the water 5 times. That is not because he was not taking dead aim. It's a tough game. Life is challenging. You are going to take dead aim and maybe not always succeed. That's okay. That's really okay. Garcia was the defending champion. He's a great player. He will play again because he will take dead aim and he will not be distracted. So, congratulations. We're honored to be your colleagues. Take dead aim. Do well. Thank you for entrusting us with your children.
Thank you, Dean Moore. We would like to take a moment to recognize students who are receiving special recognition for academic achievement. I ask each of them to stand and to remain standing, and please hold your applause until all names have been called. Graduating with distinction, Caroline Brown, also graduating with probably the best mortarboard design too. Ryan Bunker, Christina Bunn, Justin Carter, Brandon Centeno, Justin McReynolds, Jacob Soule, Rainey Wiggins, Allison Wiley. Graduating with special distinction, Madison Brodel, Mark Bremenkamp, Walter Chandler, also earning a 4.0 medallion, Ty Dickinson, Stuart Idris, Taylor Huizinga, Nathan Jackson, Caton Moore, and David Stang. Graduating cum laude, Nathan Woodcock. Graduating summa cum laude, Sean Ernst, Nicholas Goldacker, also earning a 4.0 medallion. Anton Krapovich, also earning a 4.0 medallion. Tabitha Kloss, Jacob Muller, Jacqueline Nugent, who also is invited to join Phi Beta Kappa. Please join me in a round of applause for these students. Students, you may be seated. We are finally at that moment that these students have worked so hard for, and that is graduation. Since this is a joyous time, an occasional shout of joy. Is this mic on? An occasional shout of joy. That's right, let's go, let's go. Or relief is also entirely appropriate. Those of you who wish to take pictures may do so. However, please note that a professional photographer will also take a picture as each student receives a diploma and another picture as the new graduate exits the stage. We will now present the 2018 graduates of the University of Oklahoma College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences. Department Chair Dr. Kirsten DeBurs and Associate Chair Dr. Scott Green will join Dean Moore and Associate Dean Klein in congratulating degree recipients from the Department of Geography and Environmental Sustainability. We will begin with students earning a Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Sustainability. Mohammed Al-Yahya. Rayyan Al-Dasari. That's more like it. Get excited. Let's go. Zachary Castro. Delaney Crane. Claudia Cubillos. Christina Hagans. Stephen Taylor Horn. Anna Rose Sullivan. William Valdez. We will now recognize students receiving a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sustainability. Walter Chandler. Taylor Huizinga. Bartholomew Ilanikan. Nathan Jackson. Victoria Johnson. Madeline Whitney. You all need to get on that level. Allison Wiley. We will now recognize students receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Geographic Information Science. Bradley Bender. Chelsea Bird. Madison Broadle. Carly Delisandro. Joshua Loft. Zachary Michael. We will now recognize students receiving a Bachelor of Science in Geographic Information Science. Ya Jing Kao. Ethan Heck. Kevin Neal. We will now recognize students receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Geography. Heather Marie Fuel. Caton Moore. Kyle Murphy. We will now recognize students receiving a Bachelor of Science in Geography. Rachel Holisick. Ruben Silva. All right, there's your standard, crowd. You got to match that. Matthew Wiley. We will now recognize the student receiving a Master of Science in Environmental Sustainability, Samantha Jung. Samantha is joined by her faculty advisor, Dr. Travis Gleet. We will now recognize students receiving a Master of Science in Geography. Our first candidate is Logan Gerber Chavez. Logan is joined on stage by her faculty advisor, Dr. Mark Schaefer.
Good job, Logan.
It is hard. Our next Master of Science in Geography degree candidate is Kenneth Gill. Kenneth is joined by his faculty advisor, Dr. Thomas Neeson. Our next Master of Science in Geography degree candidate is Austin Griffin. Austin is joined by his faculty advisor, Dr. Bruce Hoagland. Our next Master of Science in Geography degree candidate is Kendra Henson. Kendra is joined by her faculty advisor, Dr. Jennifer Koch. Our next Master of Science in Geography degree candidate is Monica Mustaine. Monica is joined by her faculty advisor, Dr. Rebecca Loram. Our final Master of Science in Geography degree candidate is Melissa Wagner. Melissa is joined by her faculty advisor, Dr. Renee McPherson. Thank you, Dr. DeBurs, Dr. Green, and faculty members, and congratulations to all of our new graduates from the Department of Geography and Environmental Sustainability. Dr. David Parsons, Director of the School of Meteorology, and the school's Associate Directors, Dr. Jeff Becerra and Dr. Cameron Homeyer, will join Dean Moore and Associate Dean Klein in congratulating students earning degrees from the School of Meteorology. We will now recognize students receiving a Bachelor of Science in Meteorology. Andrew Adams. Avery Aldassari. Jordan Baumgardner. Ethan John Becker. Michael Bowling. Mark Anthony Bremenkamp.
Yo, Mark!
Brian Harrison Briggs. We're going to need more cowbell. Caroline Mackenzie Brown. Ryan Christopher Bunker. National Weather Center Tour Guide Extraordinaire, Christina K. Brown. Bunn, sorry. Christina K. Bunn, sorry. I'm sorry. Christina K. Bunn. Justin Carter. Brandon Centeno. Corey Cook. Michelle Curtis. John DeCellis. Ty Dickinson. Stuart Idris. Sean Ernst. Melissa Freeman. Caitlin Frost. Nicholas Allen Goldacker. Eric Green.
Way to go, E-Train!
Bria May Hyatt. Anton Karpovich. Tabitha Kloss. Erica Lopez. Joshua Martin. Kevin McCarthy. Jason McClintock. Justin McReynolds. Adrian Mendoza. Jasmine Montgomery. Jacob Muller. Kaylee Nix. Jacqueline Nugent. Jacob Soule. David Stang. Sawyer Wells. Ashley White. Rainey Wiggins. Nathan Woodcock. We will now recognize students receiving a Master of Science in Meteorology. Our first master's degree candidate is Tyler Matthew Bell. Tyler will be joined by his faculty advisor, Dr. Petra Klein, who doesn't have to go very far. Our next master's degree candidate is Alexander Joseph Eddy. Alexander will be joined on stage by his faculty advisor, Dr. Cameron Homeyer, who also doesn't have to go very far. Our next master's degree candidate is Brian Robert Green. Brian will be joined by his faculty advisor, Dr. Philip Chilson. Our next master's degree candidate is David Harrison. Our next master's degree candidate is Elisa Miquiela Murillo. Elisa will be joined by her faculty advisor, Dr. Cameron Homeyer. Our final master's degree candidate is Ryan Ashley Wakefield. Ryan will be joined by her faculty advisor, Dr. Jeff Becerra. We will now recognize students receiving a Doctor of Philosophy in Meteorology. Our first PhD candidate this afternoon is William Gregory Bloomberg. Greg will be hooded by his faculty advisor, Dr. Stephen Cavallo. Congratulations, Dr. Bloomberg. Our next PhD candidate is Pitar Bukovchik. Pitar will be hooded by his faculty advisors, Dr. Guifu Zhang and Dr. Dushan Zernich. Congratulations, Dr. Bukovchik. Our next PhD candidate is Jacob Taylor Carlin. Jacob will be hooded by his faculty advisor, Dr. Alexander Rizhkov. Congratulations, Dr. Carlin. Our next PhD candidate is Berkeley Twist Gallo. Berkeley will be hooded by her faculty advisor, Dr. Adam Clark. Congratulations, Dr. Gallo. Our next PhD candidate is Nicholas Antonio Gasparoni. Nicholas will be hooded by his faculty advisors, Dr. Zhugong Wang and Dr. Fred Carr. That's my husband. Yes. Congratulations, Dr. Gasparoni. You already have one fan. Our final meteorology PhD candidate is Katie Wilson. Katie will be hooded by her faculty advisor, Dr. Pamela Heinzelman. Congratulations, Dr. Wilson. Thank you, Dr. Parsons, Dr. Becerra, Dr. Homeyer, and the faculty members, and congratulations to all of our new School of Meteorology graduates. Presenting the college's alumni charge today is Ms. Leslie Ilston. Leslie received her Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication with an emphasis in public relations from OU in 2005. After spending the last 12 years in nonprofit development, she now serves as the Development and Alumni Relations Officer for the College of A&GS. She is also currently pursuing a master's in public administration from OU, with plans to graduate in the spring of 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Leslie Ilston.
Thank you, Pat. The College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences proudly recognizes the members of the graduating class for your courage to persevere and for the respect and civility you demonstrated while you achieved your goals. Your educational journey may be culminating, but now you begin a new journey in your professional endeavors. Please know that you are joining a prestigious group of alumni with whom you share a common bond. Common bonds like observing storms and surviving dynamics, or handling recycling at Norman events and making it through quantitative methods. The alumni group you join today is larger than any class you have taken and spans all over the world. There are A&GS alumni living in every state and in 117 countries around the globe. Be proud of what you have accomplished as you join those that came before you. Look back fondly on the years you spent here and look forward to what your life will bring as a result of what you have learned. This university, this college, these professors, and their courses have given you the tools for you to succeed on your own. Look to your right. Look to your left. You all have done it. It is now up to you to show what a Sooner is made of. It's all right. On this very evening, as you transition from students to alumni, we hope you remember your college experience with pride. We ask that you look for opportunities to stay involved with your alma mater and connect it to the people and places you meet along the way. We are currently building a new Young Alumni Network, and we hope that this group will be active in events across the country. We challenge you to be a part of this new beginning. Look for upcoming newsletters and informational emails. With that, we ask you to stay in touch, share your stories, share your milestones, and be a shining example of the innovation that comes from being a part of this college. We are your extended family, and we want to share in all of your moments. I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors, both personally and professionally. I charge you to continue to do your best in all that you choose to do. It is my honor to officially welcome the 2018 graduating class into the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences Alumni Association. Congratulations.
Thank you, Leslie. As we approach the end of our program, I am pleased to acknowledge the hard work of the staff members of the Dean's Office and our academic units, as well as all of our ushers who assisted in making today's convocation an event to remember. Let's give all of those individuals a round of applause. Before we close, would everyone please stand and join us in singing the Oklahoma chant? The words are posted on the screen behind us. You all sounded beautiful. That was well done. Thank you. Graduates, would you please remain standing while the rest of the audience takes their seats? You guys are in trouble now. As a symbol of your newly acquired status, I ask that you now move your tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to your left. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I officially present to you the graduating class of 2018. We hope that you'll be able to join us at the annual A&GS Convocation reception, which takes place at the National Weather Center atrium directly following our program. The National Weather Center is located at 120 David L. Bourne Boulevard, right off South Jenkins Avenue and Highway 9. We ask that you remain seated until the platform party, faculty, and new graduates have filed out. Thank you very much, musicians.